Sleep vanished without drama, like a service cut. St. James's Hospital sat under rain and sodium light, steady and tired. The kind of place built to hold the country together with staffing gaps and tea. A man had signed up for a sleep study because a poster promised compensation and support for persistent fatigue. It sounded like money for just lying still. The first night in the research bay should have ended in unconsciousness. Electrodes, straps, a polite researcher explaining forms. A dimmed lamp, a screen showing waves of brain activity turning soft. Then, the multiverse fracture turned that screen into a liar. Graphs duplicated. Timestamps jumped backwards, and then corrected themselves. A brief blackout hit the bay. When power returned, the monitor showed the wrong time, as if the building had skipped a beat. The researcher blamed a software glitch and offered reassurance. The research bay kept humming. But sleep never arrived. Morning came and the man felt normal, not rested, not tired. Just normal, in the way a machine feels normal when it just keeps running. The second night stayed awake. The third night stayed awake. A week passed, and the body did not demand rest. No heavy eyelids, no blurred edges, no nodding off on the bus. Hunger and thirst behaved as usual, but fatigue had been deleted entirely. At first, it looked like a miracle built for modern England, 0-hour contracts. Night security at a retail park, call center cover when someone called in sick. Warehouse shifts from managers who liked reliable people. He took everything. The money stacked up. The landlord stopped sending reminders. The bank balance became a quiet, steady relief. The city rewarded his endurance. Supervisors called it dedication. But soon, the power revealed its cruelty. A coworker on night security sat in a booth with a mug of instant coffee, his head dipping in microsleeps. The man stepped closer to hand over a phone charger. The coworker's head jerked up as if startled from a fall. His eyes widened, his breath sharpened. 10 minutes later, he still hadn't blinked properly. By morning, the coworker had not slept at all, even after getting home. Panicked messages arrived about a mind that would not shut up. He tried pills, a dark room, alcohol. Nothing worked. The Wakefield stayed on as long as the man stayed near. The first moral trade-off landed in a familiar shape, work. A warehouse manager started pulling mandatory overtime, smiling while saying, "Business needs." People were nodding off on forklifts. A temp cut his hand open because his focus had turned sloppy. The man offered a solution. A quiet promise that the night could be powered through. No sleep needed. No breaks needed. 2 colleagues, desperate enough to try anything, accepted. He stood close in the break room and pushed their circadian rhythms into something sharp and clean. Their posture changed. Their speech sped up. Their pick rates climbed. The manager praised them like new machines. But on day 3, their eyes stopped looking human. Day 7, one of them started seeing shadows that matched nothing on CCTV. The Wakefield didn't create productivity. It created a slow psychosis with good metrics. A pallet slipped in the loading bay. A colleague reacted too late because time had stopped meaning anything. An ambulance arrived. A trust-wide email went out later about staff welfare, mentioning that CCTV exports showed corrupted 10-second segments during the incident. It also listed an operational resilience contact for incident review, Crownwell Applied Systems. The approach came within a week. A clean visitor badge. A calm face. Crownwell spoke in a language of efficiency and care, using words like continuity and stability. They framed the Wakefield as a public good. Keep essential staff functioning during crises. Prevent sleep-related accidents. The offer carried a second meaning, forced wakefulness as control, a tool that removed refusal by removing sleep. He tried walking away. The handler kept pace. Outside, a nurse walked past, shoulders collapsed after a double shift. The Wakefield reached without permission. The nurse's face tightened. Exhaustion turned into agitation in seconds. The handler watched with quiet satisfaction. An attempt at isolation began. A cheap room, late-night walks, shopping at 24-hour supermarkets. But without sleep, memory stopped filing itself properly. Days lost shape. Regret could not be blurred into something survivable. The final consequence arrived on a train. A late service out of Leeds, packed with commuters. The doors shut, sealing a box of bodies. The Wakefield filled the carriage like a gas no one could smell. Heads lifted. Arguments ignited over nothing. A child began crying and could not be soothed. At the next stop, a man froze mid-movement, trapped by manic indecision. Someone fell. Someone shouted. The carriage became a small, bright disaster. Transport police met the train, their body-worn cameras recording a scene that would later export with strange 10-second gaps. He stepped onto the platform, understanding the simplest horror. The power could not be used safely in a country built on shared space. The body could keep running forever. The damage would keep spreading with it. A Cromwell incident dashboard tags the rail platform clip. Wakefield event control deployment potential. Find out what happens next in the new episode. Like this video and subscribe so you don't miss a thing.